This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hold on, stop. Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, Boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill. You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.
What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
My best friend forgot to turn the recorder on.
and his best friend.
We just talked for 20 minutes.
Did like 20 minutes, and I didn't record a freaking second of it.
Oh my god!
And there was good shit in there. There is content we will never ever see again.
You will never get back again. There was that blowjob scene and everything. Sorry, guys. We're not going to say who is doing who.
Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot. So, we're back again.
I didn't even know what the fuck we opened up with. It was some crazy shit.
It was some fun shit.
I think we talked about smash burgers and the goddamn hot dogs we ate last week.
This week.
Yeah. So,
oh Jesus!
I feel like
I feel like we've just shorted our audience of some of the best content we've ever had.
And
it's not
some of the best.
It's not so much I did.
Well, there was one thing I will repeat again. I wish people would leave more comments. And what's that one when you can leave the stars?
You can leave stars on Spotify. You can leave comments if you go to Good Pods. And that's Good Pods came up because we were talking about, we are currently for this month, number 10 out of the top 100 history podcasts on Good Pods. And for this week, we're number 11. So while you're leaving a comment, just touch the stars, man. And we both
touch my stars, man.
We both said we hate how everybody says, like, comment, hit the subscribe bell, and I know some people need to be reminded, but we know what to do. If I like what you're doing, I'll give you a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube,
I just want to hear some funny, ridiculous comments.
Yeah. Why is John's nose look like a penis? I'll answer. I'll answer all the comments. So I did also talk about the Deluxe Edition Network.
You did that too.
And so you should go to deluxeeditionnetwork.com, check out all of the great 29 plus shows on the Deluxe Edition Network. And while you're there, do two things. Number one, check out the podcast of the month. For the month of April, it is History I'd Like to Fuck and Barrel Age Flicks. I love both of those podcasts. I don't know why my dogs are going nuts upstairs.
You like Vietnamese food?
That dog needs to be chewed up.
Want to have some tonight?
Let's see who's in my driveway. Let's look at my camera. Let's see who's in my actually deluxeeditionnetwork.com. History I'd Like to Fuck. Dawn Brody does some great history stuff. And Barrel Age Flicks does great movie stuff. Booze. I love listening to both of them. So check them out. And the second thing you want to do is you want to go to the Denny's tab and you click on that and you go, and the very first topic there is podcast of the year. You want to ignore the fact that there's 29 other podcasts there and you want to click on Take on the World. Because we're obviously number one and we should be. You can vote once a day till the 1st of May. And
say it again, Mike.
Once a day till the 1st of May.
Let me hear it again. One more time.
Once a day till the 1st of May.
That's right, folks.
And then everybody on the network at the time put up a topic. Our topic is the most gruesome murderer in history. But make sure you vote for us for podcast of the month or podcast of the year. We want the title belt right here, right
Please
here.
leave me a comment. I just want one comment.
We're gonna hang it right there where everybody can see it every time they're on here. So deluxeeditionnetwork.com. Boom. Also, we are sponsored by Sweet Disease Mattress, and there'll be more about that later in the podcast. But there is and I was told that somebody doesn't like when I do this.
There you go, doing it again.
This code up here will give you a discount on your order. Check it out. But you'll see more of that later in the podcast. So that brings us almost up to date. We've done 3 minutes and we've covered everything we did for the last 20.
It was absolutely not as good as the first one.
It was not. It was.
But whatever.
So today's topic is
How to chop wood with an axe.
I didn't research that. It's cannibalism in World War II.
That's right. You've heard it.
So where'd this come up from? Where'd you get this from?
Well, I have this book that I handwrite all my ideas for. And for whatever reason, like I woke up the next morning, I'm like, God damn, what's wrong with me? I'm like, there was like 8 topics that were all like cannibalism somewhere. And I'm like,
you were hungry when you went to bed.
Yeah, I must have been. I'm like, God damn, that chicken leg looks like a arm. Wonder what Michael tastes like. Yeah, that's where it kind of, I don't know what made me think of it, but I did. And then I narrowed it down to the cannibalism. I first thought of like in the concentration camps of World War II, but then like, oh man, I don't know how much. That's a touchy subject for me. I was there. No, I'm just kidding. No, you weren't. I don't know. It just didn't seem really that appropriate to me.
In my research, and here's a
listen. If it happened, I'm not judging anyone. I just, for me, like, was such a horrible thing that was that I don't know. I didn't want to. I don't know. It just didn't seem appropriate, I guess.
Here's what I found when I was researching this. I researched this and I thought, oh, well, you're going to see, some prolific stories because of the concentration camps. But there's very little in-depth information on this topic because I mean, everything's overshadowed by the Holocaust, which understood. Horrible things happen during war. There's death and destruction. Civilians are caught in a crossfire. Life and limb are actually on the line every day. Some of the most horrible atrocities took place during World War II. But I think as horrible as that was, that's just a tip of the iceberg. And I don't mean that to belittle the Holocaust, because that is an atrocity that I don't think anybody in the world ever wants to see again.
No. Absolutely not.
But
I would think too also that the fact that you engage in that to survive it's probably not going to be your proudest moment, but you have to do what you have to do to survive, right? So like that football team
in the Andes,
in Argentina, and when the 2 guys not escape, but they got to safety, and then all the people were like, hey, wait a minute, how comes you're not skin and bones? What's in those bags? And then they finally well, we had to do what we had to do.
You ate what you got to eat.
And it's got to be a horrible act to begin. I can't even.
Well, like those guys in that situation, I like how can you condemn them? Because they weren't eating people alive. They weren't killing people and eating them.
No,
they were eating the dead.
Yes.
And that doesn't make it better, but it was for survival. That was the only way they could survive. And I'm sure there's an immense amount of guilt that goes along with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you have this horrible situation that you're thrust into. And now I don't even know. I would even wager to say in the concentration camps, maybe they weren't even alive that long to have the option to do that.
Well, we'll get to it, Johnny. Jump ahead, but
Thank you.
I didn't find a whole lot of, and I think it's because of sensitivity of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
They did mention Germans, but cannibalizing, but not the Jewish cannibalizing each other,
Yeah.
but the German soldiers participating in cannibalization of the Jews. But I don't have any specific examples on here. It was like a passing thing that they said Nazis, blah, 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 blah. But, people ask, what could be worse than what the Holocaust was in World War II? And my answer would be, how about cannibalism?
You think you could eat another human?
I don't think I would want to.
No, I wouldn't want to.
Well, that's as far as I'll go.
But do you think you could? Your will to survive would outweigh your need to consume a human for sustenance.
I'm gonna say I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. Did you ever see that movie The Road with Viggo Mortensen?
Who the fuck is Viggo Mortensen?
Viggo Mortensen, he's a pretty popular actor. But anyways, I can't think. I can think of a movie off the top of my head now, but I don't think you would know it. He's like a Russian gangster.
Oh yeah,
he's got all the tattoos and stuff.
Viggo.
Well, yeah. What did I say?
Viggo.
Oh, so it's a post-apocalyptic world. They don't tell you what happened. It's just that him and his wife wake up. She's pregnant, and the whole world is on fire. They never say what happened, whatever. She ends up, spoiler alert, she ends up killing herself because she doesn't want to, after she has the kid, she wants to kill the kid and wants to kill everyone. And he's like, no. And so anyways, him and his boy wind up just walking the earth, and they encounter, a couple people here and there. And they encounter cannibals. They're cutting people up and eating them. It's just it's a dreary, dark movie. And it's just like, would you even want to be alive at that point in time?
Well, I have a strong will to survive, but I still don't think I eat people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I watched that movie. This could be a little side note. Take a couple minutes.
TikTok, motherfucker.
I watched that show Alone. You ever see that? It's really cool.
Alone. That sounds familiar.
So they'll take 15 contestants, and they'll set them off in the remote wilderness of Siberia.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And whoever can survive the longest wins $1 million, I think. And this one guy, basically a lot of people just fatten up before they go, and they'll just starve and going into it. Well, this guy, he had a setup where he was getting, I don't know, he was getting a regular amount of food coming in through his traps and his fishing and stuff. And he was eating a rabbit, and he's like, he's sucking the eyeballs out of the skull. And he wrote this, he was a good writer too. And he was writing his experience down, and he's like, you'll never understand hunger until you are so hungry that you suck the eyeballs out of a animal with great pleasure. Yeah. You think eating an eyeball, I remember that Bear Grylls biting into a goat eyeball. It was like pop. And he was throwing up and shit. And I'm like, I could never do that. No fucking way. I don't care. I'd rather jump off a fucking cliff.
That's how snails are when you eat them.
Ugh.
No thank you.
So yeah, I don't know. It's not a big subject that people want to discuss.
No, it seems like it's very taboo.
Very taboo.
And I use DuckDuckGo when I search, and I switched over to Google to see if I got different results. I ain't get none.
You get nothing?
Yeah.
too PC.
Yeah, I don't know. So when you think of cannibalism, you might think of images of a secluded tribe that has not had much contact with the outside world. And some poor soul is bobbling through the jungle and gets captured and boiled in a pot or roasted over a fire. That's how they show it on the movies. Actually, I just saw a thing about the Rockefeller son, who
Oh boy.
they think he was eaten by cannibals.
Oh,
He
really?
disappeared. They think he was eaten by cannibals.
Wow.
But that's for another day.
Okay.
Well, that could be the case, and frankly, it still takes place. One of the websites I found said there are still cannibalistic societies in the world.
Yeah, I think those tribes who do it, I think it's more like a ritual thing. It's not like it's like if somebody is an elder and they get sick and die, they will eat him as part of the ritual. I don't know. I've never been there, so I'm just going off what I heard.
We'll get to it, but I think some of the Japanese cannibalism was ritualistic as well.
Yeah.
So, you think, what about the civilized world? So during World War II, cannibalism was a real threat. Thousands of men and women and children were cannibalized during World War II. I have a few examples here. I didn't do really any research on cannibalism itself because I wanted to focus on the World War II stuff. And I was distressed and dismayed that I didn't find more information on this topic.
I almost didn't tell HT because I'm like, there's no way there's gonna be who's gonna want to sit around like, yeah, I ate that guy.
During some of the war trials, it came out
wow.
But
right.
But there's a weird thing about that too. So stay tuned.
Well, let's get into it. Take me a big old bite.
So during World War II, atrocities were often attributed to the German Nazis who had exterminated 6 million Jews, which is about 2/3 of all the Jewish population in Europe.
Jesus Christ.
That's disgusting. It should have never happened.
The fact that it happened is chilling down to the bone.
Yes, absolutely.
And
you know what?
How easily somebody could do it.
I'm going to reach out to the people who are Holocaust deniers and tell them to suck my ass. Period. End of story.
Yeah, they said, I know they did a test a thing in the 60s where they would have this person come in. They were all, what do you call them? Test subjects. Like, hey, you want to be involved in this experiment free of charge? Just see what you do. Yeah, no problem. So what they did was they'd have an actor on the other side of the wall. You couldn't see him, right? And then say you would walk into this room and it'd be this contraption of wires and buttons, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have you give this person on the other side of that wall
I remember this.
A set of electrical shocks.
Yes.
And I don't know if they told him it was going to be lethal or whatever or not. But it's say from 1 to 6, 6 being lethal, 1 being hardly anything. And I think they said 90% of them, when asked to give them a lethal shock, they did.
I'd give you a lethal shock.
Yeah. But I'd give you a lethal shot in the mouth. Woo! That's 20 years of regression, baby. Yeah, but it was just something like that, some kind of authority giving you a direct order, and you're like, I know I shouldn't do it, but he told me to.
They would say to me, listen, Mike, John's on the other side of this wall. Press 1 to 6.
6.
6 being painful, not lethal. I wouldn't want to kill you. 6 being painful, 1 being annoying. And we'll give you we'll give you $1 million. Keep your money.
I'm good. Can I do it again? Yeah, when they would hit the button too, they'd be like, they make a sound like they were getting shocked, and it's just alarming because now you do hear when they ask these fucking they're probably all dead now, but these Germans that got away with it, they were even brought back to the States, and that was our basic NASA was a bunch of fucking Nazi terrorists.
Operation Paperclip.
Not Robert Oppenheimer. Who is the lead rocket scientist? Oh God, we'll put it in.
I'm not putting that. There's going to be nothing there.
Yeah, there's gonna be whatever
I'll just put question marks there.
He developed.
Well, it was
like,
Oppenheimer.
No, he was the guy who helped with the Manhattan Project and the A-bomb.
Okay.
This guy was after that. He was German. He was sent over during Operation Paperclip. He was the head of like the V2, V1 rocket program.
Okay.
Rocket aircraft. And,
Rocket Man.
But at his rocket factory, he fucking hung Jewish people in front of his rocket plant to say, like, if you don't work harder, that's what's going to happen to you. And we took him in, arms wide open. Hey, make some rockets for us, and we'll forgive all the shit you did.
See, I met a Holocaust survivor. Lexi wanted to go to a lecture. A guy had written a book. There's a guy from Baldwin Brass, and
get the hell out.
Yeah. So he told his story. He was selling it, but I bought the book, and I went down to him, and I was so emotional at that point. I said, dude, I just got to give you a hug. And my big ass bear fucking grabbing this frail old man just gave him a hug. And I'm like,
what he two-piece you? He's like, pop, pop.
God bless you, bro.
Never touch me.
But he still had the tattoo on his arm, and he's passed since, but because this was Lexi was young. She was like 12 or 13.
I mean, all those, from what I've ever seen, like the interviews with like German Nazis, like I still think like they'll say like, yeah, we're against that. But like there was one guy, he was like secretly recorded by his granddaughter or whatever. And he's like still had the angst behind it. Like, yeah.
Well, we just watched Cool Hand Luke the other day. And one of the best lines in Cool Hand Luke was they were putting him in a box because his mom died, and they didn't want him to try to take off to go to his mom's funeral. So they put Luke in the box, and Luke, and one guard says, "You got to understand, Luke, I'm just doing my job." Yeah. And he goes, "Well, just because your job don't make it right."
Yeah. And a lot of them will say that I was just doing what I was told.
But there was a lot of fanaticism around Nazis and all that. And however, it was thought that the Japanese were responsible for at least 3 million deaths and as many as 30 million through massacres, human experimentation, starvation, forced labor, and cannibalism. Now, when I was going through this,
I can't even fathom those numbers.
I know. Now, one site said as many as 30 million. Another site said it's probably closer to 10 million. But still, that's millions of fucking people tortured and can't, like I always knew that the Nazis did human experimentation in the concentration camps and whatnot. I didn't realize that the Japanese were doing that, and it was to the point where they were injecting people with salt water to see if they could use that as saline for operations.
I mean, also, not that I'm condemning it or condoning it. There was some good that came out of the research, but to me, I don't think it would be worth torturing fucking humans.
No,
but that's just a result of what happened. But yeah, the Japanese had a very, very notorious site. It was called
SR-21.
No, isn't that a bird? A plane?
Yeah, it is.
Whatever. I don't know. I forget exactly what it was called, but it was just very, very like they're doing operations when you're still alive, like
yes,
lung replacement.
Well, they would remove a lung just to see how your body would react without one lung. You'd be alive while they're doing it.
Yeah. Could you imagine that?
No, I could not.
Hey, where is your penis? Like, I've got an innie. Good luck trying to find it.
So that brings us to Chichijima, and we're going to get to that as soon as we come back from this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, with the greatness of Take on the World, it was bound to happen sooner or later. This episode is sponsored by Sweet Z Mattress. You can use code TOTW TOTW15 to get 15% off your order. They sent me a pillow, and it's nice and soft. And I thought, oh, this is going to be too soft for me to sleep on. But I tell you what, I lay down on it. I don't even toss and turn at night. I just lay on my back where I'm comfortable and sleep away. And if I do turn on my side, it's just as comfortable. It feels like it's going to be too soft, but it's nice and firm because of the 3-layer design they have. The outside is pure cotton, so it helps keep you cool. The inside is a vegetable cashmere. So this is 100% plant-based down. So if being sustainable and environmental is important to you, you're going to want to check these guys out. The website is sweetzzzmattress.com. They sell mattresses, they sell bed sheets, they sell pillows. You're going to want to check it out. There's a 50-day full money-back guarantee on these. So if you don't like it, you send it back, get your money back. So make sure you check them out. Sweet Z Mattress, TOTW15 to get 15% off your order. I've been sleeping on this pillow for a week now, and frankly, I love it. I put my other pillows on the floor, and I'm only sleeping on this one.
Hey guys, this is Ron. Do you like movies?
Hey guys, this is Ragnar. Do you like alcohol?
Hey guys, this is Stu. Do you like punishments?
Hey guys, this is Chase. You want to hear me get alcohol poisoning?
Hey guys, this is Lenny. Ever wonder what a spicy boner is? If so, come on down to Barrel Age Flicks and give us a listen.
Hi, I'm Dawn Brody, a comedian with a history degree and the host of the podcast HILF, History I'd Like to Fuck. Each episode, I am joined by a new guest who has brought me a subject from history that they want to know more about. Then I hit the books, I dig deep in the annals, and stimulate. We've covered Frankenstein, Houdini, Joan of Arc, Pompeii, the Salem witch trials, right? Ugh. Join us and find out for yourself that history is a party and everybody's coming.
And we're back, and the beer fairy has visited us because our beers are full again.
Oh, thank you, Beer Fairy.
I love the beer fairy.
And the sausage and cheese fairy has come as well.
And the hot sauce fairy. Tiger sauce original.
I think it could be hotter. I would like it.
It could be a little hotter, but it's really good.
Yeah,
So-
just get that at the fucking Bowers,
Boyers.
little podunk country store.
Well, it's a supermarket chain.
That one is a very small.
Which one?
The one off of 419.
Yeah.
And but they have some surprisingly good shit. I didn't try that sausage by itself, which I wanted to. I wanted to compare like the hippies. I know V doesn't like fuck hippies. God, Burks.
And Burks is hit and miss,
Yeah,
I think.
the first time I tried it, I didn't like it. I'm thinking this stuff isn't the greatest.
It's not much different than Burks, but it's good.
Yeah,
They make good apple sausage.
Ooh. They did have the hippie sweet bologna, which I fucking love, but it's like Sugar City.
Yeah,
So I'm trying not to do that.
we're trying. So we were talking about Chichijima. The Chichijima is not far from the infamous Iwo Jima.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Japanese kind of just marched in there and took over. There was not much defenses there. They just marched in, slapped everybody around, said, "Sit down and shut up."
That kind of seems to be the common theme of the Japanese in that part of the world.
This is a small island in the South Pacific.
Kind of like Saipan.
Yeah, like they kind of just there's like no real army or anything there, or navy or nothing.
No, I wonder if what the native people in Chichijima were.
I don't know, because we know that the native people on Saipan
Chamorro.
were Chamorro.
Did we ever tell our listeners?
Deb mentioned the other day that we were to Saipan.
Oh man, I miss that place so much.
That's what I said. I love that island.
I was on Google Earth looking it up, trying to find our hotel that we stayed in, but it must have been. Honestly, I really couldn't tell because the place is such a mess from the hurricanes.
Yeah.
But it just looked. It was so there was shit blown over. So I don't know. And you know how Google Earth is. If you don't subscribe to it, you don't get like the latest version.
Yeah.
So it could have been from like 10 fucking years ago. Who knows?
So after the Japanese powered their way onto this island, they started setting up communication towers all over the island. And it became one of the main long-range communication stations in the South Pacific for World War II for the Japanese. So from there, they could get to almost everything in the Pacific. It was heavily fortified. There's a lot of defenses. And they did that because there was American air raids constantly. And the Americans hit that island every chance they got. On September 2nd, 1944, one of those air raids, a bomber was shot down. All 9 American airmen bailed out of the plane. I don't know how or what, but 8 of them drifted one way and one of them drifted another way. So,
God damn it, Timmy, this way. I got this. Follow me, guys.
So there were planes that were overhead and they were protecting that guy from enemy ships and enemy fighters. The other ones had drifted a little bit outside the safe zone for naval rescue.
Mm-hmm.
So only one of them was rescued.
Oh, that guy, little Timmy was rescued.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the lone guy that was like, follow me.
Well, it wasn't little Timmy, it was little Georgie.
Y'all float down here, Georgie.
What
Did
the
you see that?
fuck?
That was a ghost, an apparition. That was little Georgie.
There's little. Don't call me Georgie.
It's not Georgie, boy.
So 8 were captured by the Japanese and taken to Chichijima.
You just like saying that word, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Chichijima.
Because I heard it and I know how to say it.
Chichijima.
So the next one I won't say it as fast.
Did you look the island up to see what it looks like?
I did, but I didn't Google. Like, all right, side note. That you said about Google Earth. What I'll do sometimes is I'll go on Google Earth and I'll just pick a city someplace in the world.
Oh, yeah. This is Mr. Yeah, I remember this. I was busting your balls about this a couple years ago.
But I love it. It's so cool. And I'll drop you take the little guy, you drop him on a street, and I'll just walk through the streets of whatever city in the world.
I keep getting knifed. I don't know why.
And just look at, what's there. Like, because
why are you always in the red light district?
Because we're going to Panama City. I dropped myself in the middle of Panama City and I walked around. So, like,
in the red light district.
Yeah, in the red light district, because there's strippers walking in the street. I don't know if that's true.
Just want to see a hot Panamanian blow melted candle wax out of her asshole.
What the fuck? What kind of strip show are you going to, bro? Anyway, back to the topic at hand. The prisoners became prisoners of war. Well, they became prisoners of war under General Tachibana.
That's the hot sauce I just bought.
Yes. The conditions for the POWs, as we know, under the Japanese were brutal. They were malnourished. They were periodically executed. So on February 24th, on February 24th, a day after one of the American prisoners was beheaded, a Colonel Kato hosted a drinking party in his quarters on Chichijima for General Tachibana and Major Matoba. When they arrived, they were upset to see that there was not enough meat to go around with the vegetables being served. Too many vegetables. You must do something.
Where's the meat?
The general, who was reportedly very drunk, suggested they could get some meat from the prisoner they just executed. told his host they had enough fighting spirit to eat human flesh. So this is what you were talking before about spiritual reasons. I pulled this line from an 1880 Japanese children's song that went, "There is a law of nations, it is true, but when the moment comes, remember, the strong eat the weak." For historical reference, the officers on Chichijima were tried for war crimes and found guilty and hung. However,
oh shit.
The one airman that was saved, his name was George Herbert Walker Bush,
No
former
way.
president of the United States.
No fucking way.
Yeah. Now, I knew he was shot down. I didn't know this was his story because I had heard this story before.
So our former president, George H., could have been fucking cannibalized?
Yes. So George H.W. Bush.
Nope, not gone that.
Not gonna do it.
Not gone that.
1,000 points of light.
Nope, don't take my leg. It's not my good leg.
It's not my good leg. Take my bad leg, but don't take my bad leg because it's my good leg. He was 17 when he went to join the military when World War II kicked up. So he joined, but they had to hold him back from his training until he turned 18.
I just went, are we recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that would suck if I did that. If I did that twice. He went on to be on this flight crew. When he jumped out, he drifted one way and the others went another way. And he was in a safe zone to pick up, and they were not. He was saved from cannibalism. But all those airmen were either beheaded, killed, or cannibalized.
Wow.
So he talked about this in either an interview or a book.
Really?
Survivor's guilt. Like, why did I survive and the rest of my crew didn't?
That's crazy. I mean, because what are the odds like that? I'm sure like when you go out, the wind just takes you. I'm like, you have some control with your.
I guess it like as you go out, you're in the plane's still moving at 200 miles
like
an hour.
He's like you in PUBG. See you later, motherfuckers. Woo! I'm going this way.
Oh, I always go a different way than everybody else.
You guys are going to Cannibal Island. I'm not.
So at the war crimes trial, the officers were found guilty of murder and beheading.
Well, you're really struggling.
You know what? I might have had one too many of these 5%ers. Beheading of the airman. But there is no actual war crime that is prescribed that covers cannibalism.
Really?
So they were only convicted of murder, not the cannibalism, but they were hung just the same.
Good.
And I find that weird that's how out of fucking sync this is. That they didn't even think of making that a war crime. You can't kill anybody if they're prisoners, but you can eat them.
I wonder if this shit is like more common than you think. Maybe like in the American Civil War.
The fuck is that noise?
Somebody's getting cannibalized upstairs.
Okay.
No big deal.
So this was far from the only example of Japanese cannibalism of its prisoners. And the fucked up thing was they were in the heat of the tropics. So they really didn't have refrigeration to keep the meat fresh. So often they'd literally hack off a leg when they needed meat, because if the rest of the meat was attached to the body, it was still alive. Therefore, it was preserved.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait.
They wouldn't kill you. They would just take your arm. And then they'd strip your arm of meat and they'd patch you.
Rain. That's what that is. Rain and thunder.
Oh, it is a thunder. Yeah, thunder boomer out there. Dundaveta.
A Bobenhauser.
So, yeah, they would keep the rest of your body intact because it would maintain.
Well, that makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's fucking sick.
You just cut the infection off.
There's no.
You probably didn't even last that long.
There's no infection. They just cut from the other side.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was like a couple days before they ate again. Like, sure, that shit would start getting.
Well, they would patch them up.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Bob. You're not gonna survive this one. We're got 20 hungry guys here, and
Hey, Bob, I got some bad news for you.
yeah, we're gonna take you from the arms down.
Well, they would cut off their nose, their ears, the nose. Apparently, the nose is a delicacy.
Oh, is that why Hannibal bit off that dude's nose?
Could be.
I always wanted to bite somebody's nose off, but not to eat it. Like in a fight.
Let's not fight, bro.
Like I headbutt you and then bite your fucking nose off.
Oh, I've headbutted people.
Apparently, it's very effective. So, that Min Young, the Saigon whore that bit my nose off.
They would cut off their cheeks and other body parts while they were still alive. Their organs and essential parts were saved for last.
Oh my God.
One soldier reported that after choosing to be cannibalized, victims were taken to a hut where they would carve from their bodies, and then they would throw them in a ditch while they were still alive, and you could hear the shrieks of pain as they slowly died. The Japanese had no monopoly on cannibalism during World War II, though. So, what page am I on here?
Is that where sushi came from?
No.
I wonder if they ever like made a sushi roll out of a human.
Dude, that is disgusting.
I know.
You kind of want to taste it, don't you?
No, I've got no interest in human flesh other than biting somebody's nose off.
I don't have that, except if your nose. I'll bite your nose off. That's like me with Marty with anything an eagle tastes. So we're gonna go to the Nazi siege of Leningrad, which is also called the 900-day siege.
I watched a documentary on this, and it was brutal.
Oh yeah,
I don't understand why there are so many Russians. Like they just must fuck like rabbits.
Yeah, because they lost 650,000 in the first year of the blockade.
Yeah, well, you look at this new, like their doctrine, their war doctrine has always been just throw bodies into the machine and we'll outnumber you and overtake you. And it worked for them in World War II. But look how many people they lost. And then in the same war now that's going on with Ukraine, like it's a fucking meat grinder.
Yeah. See, something I didn't really, I knew, but I didn't know. The Finland was ally, not a Nazi ally.
Yeah,
but
so is some of Ukraine.
Wasn't that
the Nazis would recruit Ukrainian men to be SS?
But wasn't one of those snipers a Finnish sniper?
Yeah,
the White Death or whatever.
White Death. Was
he Finnish?
I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up.
So he must have been a Finnish rebel, or was he shooting? What is that interference?
It's my phone.
Is it?
I don't hear shit.
You know?
What do you hear?
You leaned forward. I didn't hear. It was just a right
Probably
there. Is your phone?
Was it?
Yep.
White Death.
It might be this fucking thunderstorm outside too. So I'm going to go on while you're looking that up.
Simo Heiha. Heiha. Finnish. Yes, he was.
So was he an ally or an Axis soldier?
He was an ally.
Okay.
He was killing Russians.
Okay.
No, he was killing Germans. He was an ally.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. That's what threw me off when I saw the Finnish were allies. So the Nazis approached Leningrad from the west and the south, and the Finns approached from the north. and they locked everyone in a city for 872 days.
I am wrong. White Death, the heroic stand of Finland against the Soviet Union.
Okay. In World War II?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So many factions. So I guess he was fighting on the German side.
Wow.
Well, he was killing Russians. Let's just say that.
Well, he might have just had a thing for Russians. So Leningrad's entire able-bodied population was mobilized to build anti-tank fortifications along the city's perimeter in support of the city's 200,000 Red Army defenders. By November, Leningrad was almost completely encircled. So they had nothing going in, nothing going out. There was no rail. There was no supplies. Everything was cut off.
And it was a frozen tundra.
Yeah. In 1942 alone, 650,000 lives were claimed by the blockade due to starvation, exposure, disease, and shelling from the German army. Food was sparse, as was fuel and other supplies.
Let me back that up. I don't think it was a frozen tundra at this point. Because
at some time during 1942 it was.
The frozen tundra was actually what helped. That's right. This would help the Russians, because that whatever lake or part of the water they were on, once it froze, because the German ships, I guess, had control of it, then they can make like train access and travel, and that's when it really picked up. But it was just ugly.
So starvation level food ration cards were handed out. So this is ridiculous, dude. Each ration was measured in grams. It was 125 grams, which is 4.5 ounces of food per day for civilians.
That's like a half a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Maybe like, yeah, that's like a half a chicken breast.
That's like a little bag of beef jerky.
Yeah.
The rations were nearly doubled for laborers. So it was 250, about 250 or 9 ounces.
So that's all you got for a day.
For a day.
And I would be willing to wager that even though it was doubled for laborers, they probably didn't get anywhere close to that.
No, and there was a lot of stealing of ration cards, and it got nasty.
I know there was a lot of like them eating horses and stuff. And I think what I want to say is they were like penalized for violating this card thing, like put to death.
But they were also penalized for cannibalism. So cannibalism became a means for survival. Small meat stands in the street were found selling human meat for those who could afford it. However, if they were caught selling or eating this meat, they were arrested and executed. Eventually, 2,000 people met this fate for cannibalism. So what I had seen in one of the videos I watched, which was really interesting, there were so many dead bodies, they were strewn all over the city. And the rat population increased exponentially. Now, I don't know why he just didn't eat rats. I've eaten squirrel. Squirrel's a furry rat. Anyway.
No. Maybe probably just more accessible.
Well, the rat population had exploded because of what you said. They ate all the cats, dogs, and fucking horses. So now I'm going to Johnny jump ahead for a second to the end of this, where when the siege of Leningrad ended, they trained in a trainload of cats to the city to take care of the rat population.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how bad it was. So in total, 800,000 civilians were killed in the siege of Leningrad. And
wow,
650,000 of those were in 1 year.
That's a ton of fucking human meat, man.
Now, not all of them were cannibalized. This is saying at least 200 people were cannibalized, or 2,000 people.
You know,
I would say it's probably more than that, because it's just really no way to tell.
If I had my choice of a person, it might be like a big old plump Puerto Rican girl. You like her ham hock, you know what I'm saying? Put that in an Instapot with some potatoes and onions.
Dude.
You probably don't even need to put any seasoning on that thing, man. It's all it's pre-seasoned. Woo!
Oh, that's
Maybe
so
a little bit of hot sauce and some rice and beans.
You are legitimately fucked up in the head.
But then I'd marry her. I wouldn't kill her. I'd marry her. I'm like, yeah, I ate your leg.
I eat part of your ass. Part of your ass.
I ate your one ass cheek.
But
don't ever forget that, baby.
I only ate one.
I love you.
Dude, you're horrible. So we're going to jump to Papua New Guinea, which is not really Papa, it's Papau.
Papau.
That's down toward Australia, New Zealand. After the war.
God damn. Fucking Japanese guys were everywhere.
These guys were fucking bad down there. They claim they only ate human flesh because they were starving, but in most cases the evidence tells a very different story. For the 10,000 odd soldiers of the Indian Army who endured extreme torture at the hands of Japanese captors, cannibalism was the culmination of that torture.
Like, dude, just think of that how fucked up you're chained up, and we're like, dude, we're gonna cut you up and we're gonna eat you piece by piece while you're still alive.
And that's what they did. They did it while they were still alive. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, Salt Bay on them.
Bam, bam.
It's fucking horrible, dude.
All right, we need a new like
and here's Gordon. It's raw. You'll kill somebody, you donkey.
Yeah, fucking donkey, yeah.
Evidence suggests the practice was not the result of dwindling supplies, but worse, it was conducted under supervision as a power projection tool.
Well, I can see that. That's what we just talked about.
Yeah.
You Johnny jump ahead.
You fuck up and I'm going to eat you. In recovered Japanese commander's diary, an entry on October 19th, 1942, documented starvation of his platoon and noted that meat had been carved out of dead American prisoners.
Oh.
This is the first time I ever tasted human flesh, and it was very tasty.
You goddamn right, because we're American, motherfucker.
We taste like freedom. Boom.
No better taste your meat than a rotund Puerto Rican girl's ass cheek than an American GI.
Japanese atrocities in the Australian territory and deep in the jungles of Borneo and Papua New Guinea, where thousands of Australians, British, and Pakistani and Indian POWs were massacred and some cannibalized. There were also occurrences reported in the Philippines perpetrated by starving Japanese soldiers. The fucked up thing is war makes people do terrible fucking things, and World War II is no fucking exception.
I mean, have you ever ate at the Regal?
The Regal
on Fifth Street?
No.
That meat's kind of questionable.
Oh, dude. When we were in Saipan.
Yeah, you're like, I'm pretty sure that was a dog roasting on a spit.
When I was there the first time, I swear to God.
Yeah, hey, do you know where there's a good Korean, like, offbeat restaurant? Make a left at the roasting dog. What?
Hold on. When we went by there, when I was there the first time, I swear there was a dog roasting out in front of the restaurant. Now, someone told me it was a goat, and maybe that's true. It looked like a dog to me.
Yeah. I just recently had goat meat.
Oh, goat's pretty good.
I wasn't the meat, but just the flavoring.
It's off. Too bony.
No, it was like chunks of like roasted goat, but it had like a cinnamon, like almost like a curry, but it was like just,
they didn't season it right for you.
No, they didn't season it right. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. And it was expensive too.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It pissed me off.
So that's the research I did into this topic. There is more because, like I said, there was instances of Nazis at the concentration camps perpetrating cannibalism.
Now that's interesting because, like, they weren't starving, were they?
No,
So they're just fucked up, just
sadistic.
What that fucker tastes like.
Just sadistic.
But you know, it's even worse.
What bothers me about the Nazis doing it is they felt that the Jews were an inferior race.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
Why would you inject like they didn't want any? They felt like if they were in the same room as Jews, they were tainted by that.
They felt like they were an inferior race. They had to be disposed of, but they're having sex with them. Like even Schindler's List. What's his face? The leader of that camp had a love affair with a Jewish prisoner.
Yeah.
And he was like beating her. I don't know. I think he ended up killing her. I don't know. Just complete. What would think that, like, you're so, like, you don't have to answer to anybody.
I didn't bring this up in Papua New Guinea because we were talking about cannibalism, but they would basically gang rape any woman they captured. And then they would send them, and basically the Japanese would send them and be sex slaves in other places of the world. Like, these fucking people, like, how can, like, I understand, like,
Just the utter disregard for human life.
Some of the American soldiers in Vietnam ended up with a very twisted sense of morality.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We talked about with the tunnel rats, the one dude, like, he gave an interview and without even flinching, I wish I could go back and kill some more.
Yeah.
Like
Bobby.
I
forget what that guy's name was.
That's fucked up to have that mentality. But I don't see myself ever getting there. Like,
I don't know, man. You'd be surprised if you were put in that situation.
But I have this strong sense
for I don't mean to take away from anything or, but I can imagine it's probably the same for him. It was like, I want to go scuba diving again. It's something I enjoyed.
Right. But that like, how do you enjoy that?
I can see how it could happen. Like you're basically joining an organization that tells you to do that.
I have this very strong sense of right and wrong. And if I feel something is wrong, I don't care what position it puts me in. I am going to rail against it. And I've done it at work.
I don't think that killing an enemy was wrong and chopping his ears off. I would do the same thing.
Okay, fighting an enemy on the field of battle is one thing. There's honor in that, I feel.
Or like this guy's
to take a captive and torture and murder or rape.
Oh no, yeah, not that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah,
I'm not because I'm under the assumption like this guy you talked about in Vietnam, the dude was already dead. And he's just lopping his ears off. He's doing his job. He's killing people, which is what he was trained to do.
Right. The whole ear necklace thing is kind of sick, but I'm with you. I get that. But
I'm not going to be sitting here raping women and you know.
You and me are on opposite sides and we fight each other. You shoot me and I'm down, but I'm alive. You take me captive and you torture me for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
There's nothing morally right about that.
No, I mean, I guess it would all depend on how much hatred I have for you, which I've never understood. I'm like, just fucking shoot him in the back of the head, get it over with.
Right. If I hated you that much, it's pop, done.
Yeah.
You're out of my head. I don't have to see you again. I don't know. I just don't see where some of these.
I guess
the justification they give
different strokes.
Yeah.
If you drum it up in somebody's head, this person is a piece of shit, and they believe you, like that they're the scum of the earth, and you can Like I didn't even do that with like I'll give it a perfect example. We were at work and the guy we had glue traps out because there was some mice and shit. And a mouse walked by and it was like stuck in a mouse trap and it was like screaming. And he like fucked around with it and was like just crushed its lower body. And then I'm like, why would you do that? Just like fucking kill the thing.
Dude, I don't know if you know this about me, but like I don't kill spiders. I don't kill bugs. I just don't. Like a spider's just doing its thing.
I'll kill a fly because I hate them motherfuckers.
Flies are a different story. And gnats.
Spiders every now and then I'll kill.
I try not to kill them. I don't like just go here. I'll put them in my hand and move them someplace else.
Yeah, I've done that before.
I just and snakes. We had a copperhead out front, and that's one snake that I'm like, I don't want it near my house. I'm not afraid of snakes, but I don't want a copperhead up front with the dogs going out.
Copperhead will kill a dog.
By the way, speaking of dogs, happy birthday, Coco.
Happy birthday, Coco.
My puppy, her birthday today.
It's 13, maybe 14.
12 or 13.
Maybe go fuck yourself.
I don't remember the year we got her, but she's my princess. So anyway, that copperhead, I just sprayed it with cold water so it couldn't strike, and I moved it with a shovel. I didn't kill it.
Yeah.
If it came back, I'd kill it if it came back a second time, but because it's a copperhead, it's poisonous to me. But like we get ringneck snakes here, the yellow ringnecks.
Yeah.
We get rat snakes. We get garter snakes. I'm not going to kill them. Just here, go over here, buddy. Do your thing. Live your life.
I think you think like some people are just born killers. They're just complete psychopaths. Like
I just find that hard to believe.
Like what makes you become a serial killer?
Not
like,
hard to believe.
Never think of like murdering 30 women.
Hard to understand, not hard to believe.
Right. But some people are just wired that way.
Well, those people, I say, kiss the crack of my ass.
Suck a fart out of my asshole.
They can eat a Sam's Club size bag of dicks.
What did you say to me the other day? She's like, you, sir, man, just a satchel full of Richards.
Anyway, so that's the tip of the iceberg of cannibalism in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And we took that on, and we would like you to go take on the world.
This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill. You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.